Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Broken Terrain, and I've got a great craft in this video. It's these really cool battle or bases for your mini. It's a great way to show off a dramatic event or power being used. It's very simple, and I want to show you how I made them. So come along, and we'll do it right after the drop. To start, we're just going to get some XPS foam, 1/2 inch. I made 3-inch circles, freehand cut these 3-inch circles. I chose 3 inches because the standard mini is 1 inch, but I've got larger ones that go all the way up to 2. And I wanted to be able to put even larger monsters on these decorative bases too. If you're a video game fan, it's like stage 2 of the boss monster when it explodes with energy and power. I'm a big anime manga fan. I like my superhero movies, and so that's what inspired this particular craft. Also, if you remember in that Rune Wars board game, the commander units had the big decorative base, and I said I'd steal that idea and here I am stealing that idea but making it my own. I came up with 2 different base types. This first one is like a scorched earth, and you simply take your lighter to it and burn it. It gives it that burnt, scorched texture, and then kind of curves in a bit like a crater. Once you get it cratered to your satisfaction, find yourself some product plastic. This is from a package of something someone in the family opened earlier, and I'm just cutting like a jagged design, like the aura of the person is flaring and flaming up to the sky. Then you're going to poke a groove around the edge with your X-Acto knife and just jam this plastic in. Cut to size where needed and just make sure it looks good. And here we see I put a mini inside because at this point I'm already excited. This is already looking really cool, and I can't wait to flesh the idea out a little more. With these scorched earth ones, once the plastic is inside, I take my lighter and I burn the edges a bit more and give it that shape. Please do it in a well-ventilated area with a mask on, or even outside would be better. I wanted my bases to have a magnet. They hold my fender washer bases really well, and this would allow me to move the base and that figure will stay in place. I don't have to worry about it. So this is just a little ease of use. If you don't have fender washer bases, don't worry about it. There we go. Oh man, super excited. And now I'm going to show you my second base. I took it to the hot wire table, ripped I have no idea how thick it is. And then I've got some cork board. You can buy sheets at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and Dollar Store might even be selling cork sheets. This stuff looks amazing when ripped and torn up. And I'm going to do the magnet to this too. Carve out a hole for the magnet, hot glue a magnet in, and then I'm going to glue this big piece down in the middle, and then I'm going to start to glue other broke off pieces around the edges, making it look like the ground is fracturing around the character. That's another trope from anime that I absolutely love. When the character's shouting and powering up and the ground is ripping and tearing apart around them. I love that. And that's what this second base is all about. And to be perfectly honest, it's by far my absolute favorite. If you're thinking about doing these yourself and you really like one or the other design, don't be afraid to just do them all like that. In hindsight, I think I would have done them all like this, but live and learn. Real simple. Tear them up, glue them around. Make sure you leave areas around the edges to put in your plastic. These work a little different. You can't go all the way around them, so you have to work in between the pieces of torn cork. Ultimately, the fact that I couldn't just do one long ring around the edge, I had to modify the design and the look, and this was able to give me 6 distinct looking aura stands, and that works really well for me. I've mentioned a couple of times that I am making my own game, and in my game there would be a call for 6 of these different auras, and I've covered every single one. Looking really good. I'm really happy. And I'm going to show you all 6 with a minifig on there to show it off. Oh man, I am super excited. These things look fantastic. And I think they're going to look even better once they're textured up and painted up. Are you excited? Awesome. Let's keep going. I hit them with my matte Mod Podge and black acrylic paint mix to hit the foam, and that's after you'll notice I've removed all of that plastic. I have it in piles on the table in correspondence to where they are here on my parchment paper. And I just hit all the ground with a light cinnamon. Then I'm going to do the stone in an elephant gray. I did tear off a few extra pieces of cork, and I covered those with the black base coat as well. I'm going to hit those with the elephant gray, and the idea is to put those on tiny little bits of plastic like they're floating and ripping out. Ultimately, I only do this on one of them because I just see them ripping off and me constantly gluing them and then just finally giving up. So I only put them on one to show what you really could do if you went all out. Afterward, I dry brush with a honey brown. I was going to make a joke about honey brown on light cinnamon and it being delicious terrain. Would it have been funny? No, it wouldn't have been. I put the auras or the plastic back in their corresponding bases. Now I hot glue them down on both the outside and inside edge. And then I'm going to go back with my hot glue gun and lay down and drag the nozzle and create texture to give the aura a little depth and some substance. Then I go in and I hit them all with a black wash, not the auras themselves. And then I'm sorry, you're seeing pictures of them here in color. My son got me an airbrush for my birthday, and this was my first time using it. And I was so busy trying to figure it out, I didn't film it. But I do like the way it turned out. I hope you did too. I'm going to go back in with just a straight white, very, very bright white, and I'm going to dry brush the edges, all that hot glue texture, and then the top and edges of the aura. And that's just going to make everything absolutely pop. Ooh, I think I finally caught up with the video. I just want to say, if you're liking this video, please take that 1 second to smash that like button. And if you liked it, I bet you'd subscribe and see a whole lot more of them. So do that too. I would really appreciate it. Share the video with family and friends. I can't do this without you. Thank you so much. This last one, the aura is in white. I go back in with a king's gold and I highlight the edges with the gold instead, just to make it look a little more holy, like a holy light. And here you see, this is the red aura, the aura of the Slayer, and bits of rubble are flying and being ripped up. This is the only one I did that on. Here we see a green aura, a vine and tendril green aura growing from the ground, the aura of the mystic. The holy white light, the aura of the divine. The arcane yellow aura of the Archmage. What do you think? Do you like them? I hope so. I do. The blue shielding light of the Juggernaut. Love it. Love this aura. And finally, the volatile aura, the purple aura of the Infernal. And this figure has a lightning bolt with it that really goes well. And without further ado, some Tinley and the Shamrock Boys. Thank you, everyone. When we last left Tinley and the Shamrock Boys, Natasha the Demoness was sulking around the orc village, while the chief and the captain were locked in a duel. Oh man, I'm still hurt from before. I don't know if I can take this guy.
What are you waiting for, little man? Fight me!
Look, we don't need to fight. That demon, she sent that creature after us. She's still out there.
Fear. You stink of fear. Prepare yourself, human. Here I come!
The orc chief rushes forward with incredible speed, swinging his massive blade down. But just as the captain sidesteps it, the big orc switches stances and swings the sword wide, slamming the captain backwards. He barely gets to his feet before the big orc chieftain pushes the attack. But this time the captain rolls out of his way safely, while one of the Shamrock Boys has to put up his shield to dodge an attack. The captain takes full advantage, stabbing with dirk and short sword over and over again.
You're fast, human.
Not so bad yourself.
Dodge this if you can.
But the captain did, stepping aside from the big orc's rush and slipping his blade up into the orc's side. The big man had grown predictable.
I know how to beat you now.
The orc's muscles flexed. He went to charge. The captain dodged. Shit, no, it's a feint. He barely gets his sword and dirk up in time to parry the massive sword swing from the big orc chieftain. Oh shit, he's got me. He knows I can't take a shot from that sword. I just gotta keep dodging and wait till I find my opening. But the orc chieftain was smart, and he studied the captain's moves, and finally he was ready to end this fight.
Submit to me, man thing, or I'll kill you.
But as the other orcs and the Shamrock boys looked on, cheering and hollering for their fighters, the captain knew that submitting just wasn't an option. I think you know, we've got to take this to the end. Let's do this.
Brave but foolish. Very well, let's fight!
But the orc chieftain had given up sheer raw strength and power. This time, he fought with tactic and intelligence, and the captain quickly began to lose ground against the big man. And then rather suddenly, the chief dropped his sword, reached out with his big, meaty green hands, and grabbed the captain by the throat. He was surprised, dropped his weapons, clutched at the orc's wrists, kicked at his chest and stomach, attempting to free himself as the big orc dragged him through the gravel of the road. He pushed the captain's face down into the stone and ground his skull against the rock and kicked the captain to the side. That was it. He was done. He had no more left. The orc chieftain sauntered over to the captain, looked down, and took his leather-clad orc foot and pressed it against the captain's throat. He pushed down.
Death is too good for you. Submit. Submit in front of mine and your men.
But as the captain's eyes closed, and he was about to succumb to death, the barriers he erected within his own mind broke, and the power within him released. Standing amidst a powerful blue aura, the captain stares daggers straight ahead at his opponent. Is this the power he needs to win the day? And what of Tinley? And what happened to Natasha? All the answers and more. Stay tuned for the next episode of Tinley and the Shamrock Boys.